All right, let's get into it. Very excited to have him back. He has one of the #1 catchphrases on this show, which is Heil Hibbler.
Heil Hibbler.
Heil Hibbler.
Heil Hibbler.
Man. I'm very excited. Welcome back, Hibbler. How are you, brother?
Good, man. Thank you for having me on again. I really do appreciate it.
I'm glad you're here. For those who may not remember your numerous appearances on the show, can you tell us a little bit, tell them a little bit about yourself and where they can find you?
Yeah. Sean Hibbler from Hibbler Productions. I've been making videos on alternative theories and truth concepts for probably since 2016 now. And I just been doing my thing ever since. Once this pandemic started, I decided to just say, you know what, let me do my own thing and create my own films and make this my full-time career. You know, my audience has been able to help me get there, and as well as Rockfin as well.
So you're doing well on Rockfin now?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I got a lot of people coming on there, checking out my stuff, checking my work, wanting to see new work. I'm working on a few projects right now.
And you're working with Eddie, right? You help him with looking.
Well, I produce the show. Yeah, I do. You know, I'm there with him during the show.
Great.
I'm bringing it home. I'm doing the full editing. I'm trying to give some good overlays so when people are watching it, they kind of get that story and that feel of, you know, it's kind of what I've always done with stuff. I've always kind of wanted to give better visuals than just, you know, nothing. So I try to, you know, me and Eddie have a lot in common, and we have a lot of great ideas for the show, and we're just going to keep rocking and rolling with him, man. It's been turning out really good.
He's the best.
Yeah, it's a great show.
And anytime you get to work with him, it's a blessing, dude. So so basically Eddie one day is like, oh, dude, Hibbler, you got to talk to him, bro. Hibbler basically has evidence that Michael Jackson's helping Donald Trump
Whoa.
run the world. And I'm like, yes.
How high was I?
Yes.
How high was I? No, you know, here's the thing, man. For me, it's that whole story is fun with the QAnon stuff and Trump trying to put it all together for Eddie, because, you know, I mean, he's very hopeful with the Trump stuff, right? I'm more on the other side. You know, it's the same.
Would you say you're a black pill?
No, full red pill.
Yeah,
completely awakened to most things, but here, almost as much things as I possibly can be awakened to. There's a lot of doors to go down, a lot of things to be like, I don't know about this door. But with the QAnon door, yeah, that's not my thing. That's all. It's Eddie's thing, and I respect it, and I'm hopeful that he's right. Every time he tells me something, I go, man, I hope you're right, man. But for me, when he started telling me about all these things with Trump and this, that, and you know, respectfully, I listened to him. I already was researching Michael Jackson in 2009 after he passed, and passed, in my opinion. But there's a lot of things that I did back then that I feel like I was in my own boat doing this research. Everyone knew about 9/11. Everybody knew about it. Back then, you know, the presidents were just pieces of shit, and the government's trying to do all this. So there's all these things, and then out of nowhere, I'm just sitting there in the corner going, "There's something going on with Mike," because that didn't seem real to me, and who told you Michael Jackson died? That's the one question I asked her. Okay. Who told you?
Hey, everybody. We want to tell you about our friends at Copy My Crypto. Johnny?
Guys, we've seen so many people making ridiculous money from crypto. But did you know that it's easy for you to do the same? The Copy My Crypto membership site shows you the coins that YouTuber James McMahon personally holds and allows you to copy him. It's like having a big brother who knows what he's doing. You don't need to know a thing about crypto or how to invest. You simply do what he does. So let me tell you about James. He runs the Crypto with James YouTube channel, which despite heavy censorship has over 17,000 subscribers and 1 million views. Since March 2020, he's told his viewers to buy 26 crypto coins. Had you put $100 into each one, it would now be worth more than $53,000. Of the 26 coins, his top pick of the year, a coin called Phantom, is currently up over 440 times from when he named it. That one call alone has retired a number of people, including guys in their 20s and 30s. Remember, this is public knowledge. You can go to YouTube and verify it yourself. So if you'd like to join the 1,300 members who copy James, then stop what you're doing and head over to copymycrypto.com/TFH. You'll not only find proof of everything I've said here, but our listeners can get full access for just $1. You won't find this offer anywhere else, but act fast because it ends soon. That's copymycrypto.com/TFH. That's TFH. Don't take this offer lightly. James is the real deal. Go visit the site now.
I want to get into this real quick. I just want to say something I really liked that you said right there.
Yeah.
And it's something I talked about on Rogan for a brief second about the spectrum and how there's people who believe everything the news says, and then there's the conspiracy theorist. And like usually it's somewhere in the middle, but more towards conspiracy sides. So I'm waiting for the blowback on that. Oh, come on, you don't believe conspiracies? You got to show them that. No, I do believe in conspiracies, but I also know there's a lot of nonlinear warfare going on and astroturfing with crazy stories that Johnny does all the time with kind of going, dude, that's not a real story. Look where this came out. And so a great example of that was recently somebody put out like, oh, during free, what's it called when you demand documents from the government?
FOIA.
The FOIA.
Freedom of Information Act.
Freedom of Information Act. They found out that Ray Epps was texting Nancy Pelosi, and everyone's running with it. And then someone was like, "No, man, what's happened with January 6th doesn't fall under the FOIA, and so it's not real."
Yeah.
And so that happens all the time. So that's what I was meaning by that. It's like you can't just believe everything that's on in the conspiracy world, because there's as much astroturfing on that side because they want us to look stupid.
What do you call it? What Krav Maga stance or whatever?
Yeah, everything. You got to be in like karate stance, Krav Maga stance. When you hear something.
I mean, the other day.
Hey, we can't hear him.
Oh, the other day, Johnny kind of did it to us. Remember? I mean, you didn't want to believe it, but I was like, man, Johnny might be right. Where they wouldn't give the officer's name that blew his head off.
Oh, yeah.
And Johnny's like,
Wait,
dude,
what?
it's just, remember you pull up an article where you couldn't find the officer's name?
Yeah, but I still stand behind that
No,
story.
I know that, but then I sat there and I was like, man, if Johnny's looking at it the way like a journalist has to do it, he would put the officer's name that blew his head off. Do you remember that article?
Well,
Johnny?
yeah. The story wasn't about him blowing his head off. The story was he was being quoted saying certain things about the Wiener laptop. And now if he was they were using his information on like background or an unnamed source, which they do sometimes, that would make sense. But I could just tell by the way it was written, it was nonsense.
I respectfully disagree. But
Yeah, I mean it wasn't. It was by the website. If you read about that website,
Johnny, I was balls deep in this shit forever, and all I'm gonna say is this. And
you said we couldn't find it. We found it.
No, dude. And I love that. That's a giant role that you have on this show, is to call out that, and that's what I love about it. I love it. And just there's sometimes I'm just not going to agree with you not agreeing with me. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
We have proven that shit gets deleted off the internet. That could have been something that was deleted.
I 100% believe that.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
go
we know
back.
that.
and
I just
they
went
take-
through that for trying to prepare for this show, trying to find stuff for the show.
Right? It's gone.
You gotta download it.
Dead
I'm
internet.
like,
Dead
I can't
internet.
talk about that fucking topic now. I got nothing to back it up.
Oh, you
It's
can,
bullshit.
dude.
I
You
probably,
can.
we might
Show
get weird.
me.
We might get weird.
No, we love the weird.
I'll tell you the stuff I was talking to Eddie about
we'll
eventually,
get
but I
into
want
that.
eventually.
I only
just one
fact
of
check
those.
Sam, to be clear.
What's that?
I only fact check Sam.
No, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I like that because I think it gives the show credibility that we fact check ourselves.
Yep.
Instead of but on my show, and even when I'm on other people's shows, I'm not really there to challenge people. I'm more there to talk about it and go where they want to go and let them get out. And even if I don't necessarily agree with it, unless it's like pure hate, and even that's a discussion on that.
Yeah.
But I like to just let people have a chance to talk. And we can do all these serious shows, and I think it gets super heavy, and there is an element of entertainment that has to be in these shows. If it's all just dense data all the time, it can bog you down and lower your frequency and all that stuff. So once in a while, it's fun to talk about alternative to the alternative.
Oh
right?
yeah, of course. Again, I'm not gonna lie and sit here and act like I wasn't sitting in my own boat with this since 2009. It's one of those things where it's like, who do I talk to about this? Who gives a fuck?
Well,
Who
you're in the
really
right
gives a fuck?
place.
Yeah. No, for sure, man. And I love, behind the scenes, off camera, I've talked to you about stuff, Eddie about stuff, and we're just trying to figure this stuff out. I look at it as like it's a fun thing, but I'm still hopeful. Why? It's okay. It's okay to say, hey, I don't know the truth of this theory or this conspiracy. I don't know, but if there's one that sounds amazing, why wouldn't you hope it's legit? Why wouldn't you want it to have some backbone? It's like there's some truthers out there. It's like, oh, bullshit. You said bullshit before you even looked into it.
Yeah.
You said just because.
Yeah.
There's no just because with this. Look at the world we live in. There's no more just because. You got to look. You have to look.
I was having a discussion with Jimmy Dore about another comic that I can't stand, so I won't give him the nameplate. But he was talking about how he's like one of his really good friends, and he's turned on him because of the vaccination stuff. Yeah. But this guy was balls deep in that Russian collusion never happened. And he could be completely and open-minded that the same people have created something, a false flag event or a situation, a propaganda, and had deceived people. But when it comes to this, they can't. They
won't open their mind.
Yeah, and it also goes to people who like call out, let's say, Israel, Palestine, and stuff like that. But then they can't come to grips with those same people are telling you that, climate change is going to destroy humanity. even though every single goalpost they set, they never met. They never got to it.
Dude,
they just want your money.
Ozone layer. They keep, you're right. They keep changing the goalposts, but they also keep changing the terms. So you kind of forget. There's this like collective amnesia because we can only hold so many fucking topics in our head because we watch the news all the time. Hole in the ozone layer, dude. Remember that was going to get everybody. We were all going to get zapped. It just magically healed itself.
But there's it's just kind of crazy how some people can totally be in to like one conspiracy, just balls deep into it, and then refuse to admit that. Is it possible
that something else is possible?
I mean, the crazy one is when they're all about the Bible, but won't even contemplate the flat Earth.
Oh yeah,
they believe everything about the Bible.
That's the most contradicting thing.
That is the weirdest thing.
It's really weird, right?
All about everything in the Bible except the firmament, dude. That's the weirdest.
Well, and it says that the Earth is made to not move. Or something like that, something along those lines. The Earth is made.
Well,
to not move.
Why? You know why I have a theory on that? Why? Because a lot of people, and I know this because I grew up pretty religious. A lot of people who are in that kind of like hardcore religious mindset, they like to look for proofs that the Bible actually knew that the Earth was round. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So the one verse of the circle of the Earth.
Exactly. Yeah. And that
a quarter's a circle.
It kind of fits with science. And when they kind of get that, what would you say, like assaulted by the idea of flat Earth, they don't want any part of it.
Show me the infinite galaxy scriptures. Get back to me. Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, but for me,
you think in its creation it wouldn't mention all this crazy shit they teach us about in school with the space shit? There's no mention of it in any holy book ever.
Yeah.
At all.
That's
all I'm saying. Way. And listen, I don't do flat Earth with the Bible stuff. That's not my angle. I don't do that. And I'll talk about it if someone brings it up, but I don't ever start with that. I start with more land. That's number one. And when people understand anything you're complaining about in life, there's more land. It's over. It's gone.
Let's hold on to that.
Just
because
saying.
I'm open-minded to it. But I really want to get into why you're here today, and that is you believe there's a good chance Michael Jackson's still alive.
I don't believe it. I
like how we shift gears from flat Earth. Let's shift it down. Get into, is Michael Jackson still alive?
I don't believe it. I just think it.
Okay.
I know it sounds similar, but it really is different for me. So I just think it.
There's stuff that makes you believe that it's possible that he's still alive.
Yeah. So that's a rabbit hole again. I went down right afterwards. Right after because I kept, and that was one of the only times in a long time I started watching CNN. In 2009, and I was just glued. Whatever news was on, didn't really matter. I'm just picking on those pieces of shit. But I'm just glued, and something just didn't sit right, man. It felt like 9/11 to me. It's just that feeling when you're watching, you're like, something's not right.
The world stopped.
Yeah.
The world stopped. There's very few times the world stopped. And like from Frank Sinatra died, the world didn't stop. Maybe Vegas did.
Yeah, he was so old.
Muhammad Ali, maybe, but he was much older. Like, Michael Jackson wasn't in his prime, but he was still in the news and all that stuff.
He broke the internet. Did we forget about that? Twitter was down. The internet was not working
Forgot about
for
that.
a long period of time. No internet. It broke the internet.
All just these
So-
photos of that hospital, right? That was
Yeah,
all.
and oh man, those fucking photos, man. Look, man, I don't even know where to begin with this one, but for me, since 2009 and all the research I put in, just man hours of shit alone. Of course, I'm talking to nobody. I think my mom before she passed, my mom before she passed,
Rest in peace.
was on my was on my side, which was cool. She was on my side. She's like, and
Well,
she
she
always
knows
said
for sure now,
She
so.
always said for sure. She'll know, yeah. Like, Ma, give me a sign. Give me a sign. I actually said that. I actually said that as a joke when she was dying, but she laughed. It was a joke, but no, I mean, she was like, if anyone would have ever actually faked their death, not for no reason, not like, oh, they went to Greenland or something. No, to help. To do it to save the world, to do it. She said that'd be the only guy to ever put money on, ever. And I always took that to heart. I'm like, you're gonna make me a better journalist. Keep talking to me, Mom. Come on, you're my cheerleader
Oh,
here.
so she introduced you to the idea?
No. I introduced her in her later days.
Was she a conspiracy theorist?
No, you know what? In my opinion, she was a truther. She was an OG truther. No
Respect.
vaccines. I've never been vaccinated. Not even since birth. No, there was no doctor snatch. I'm pure. Okay. No
You got the
vaccines.
hood? What up? You got the hood?
Who?
The hood? Are you circumcised? Because if you that's first fuck yeah. Like, 'cause if, that's how you know.
No
you,
comment.
that's how you know
No,
you're a little
dick.
snatcher from the hospital. If you, if they
No
didn't
comment.
Where
have
do you think we're in East LA?
Welcome to Tinfoil Hat. Tell us about your cock.
It's okay. Welcome to Sean Hilber's world. I say no
got the hood,
comments.
dog? You
No
got the hood?
comments. No comments.
Hey everybody, we've got some big news for you. Our favorite blue light glasses company, Blue Blocks, has rebranded. Blue Blocks is now called Bon Charge. Bon Charge is a holistic wellness brand with a huge range of evidence-based products to optimize your life in every way. Founded on science and inspired by nature, all Bon Charge products adopt ancestral ways of living in our modern-day world. Their extensive range of premium wellness products help you sleep better, perform better, have more energy, recover faster, balance hormones, reduce inflammation. The list goes on. From blue light glasses to EMF management and circadian friendly lighting, Bon Charge products help you naturally address the issues of our modern way of life effortlessly and with maximum impact. In addition to their blue light glasses on the show, we use their computer glasses. I know Sam does too, to reduce headaches, sore eyes, digital eye strain, and fatigue because we work under these artificial lights in the studio all day. I also do a lot of late night video editing, and for that I use their blue light blocking glasses, which help with poor sleep and fatigue, low energy. They can also help with jet lag even. And you know, I've tried other blue light blocking glasses, but these really do seem to be the highest quality blue light and most effective blue light blocking glasses that I've used. Their stylish frames have been featured in GQ and Vogue, and their optics are made in laboratories in Australia. They're very high quality, and yeah, they cost a little bit more, but why would you buy a cheap pair when you know they're just not going to work? I have to reiterate, since wearing the blue light blocking glasses, my sleep has improved. I know Sam has always suffered under the lights in the studio, and he has less eye strain and headaches now after wearing the Bon Charge computer glasses. And just so we're clear, these glasses come in non-prescription, prescription, and reading options. They have glasses for every need. Again, computer glasses that help with eye strain, light sensitivity glasses that help with low mood and migraines, and blue light blocking glasses for improving your sleep. Bon Charge also has other amazing products such as low blue light bulbs, EMF/5G protection, and 100% blackout sleep masks, all backed by science. Bon Charge ships worldwide in rapid time, and they have easy returns and exchanges. Go to boncharge.com/tinfoil and use the coupon code tinfoil, one word, to save 20%. That's BONCHARGE.com/tinfoil and use the coupon code tinfoil to save 20%.
No, but you know, she when I was little, she would bring them to science projects. You know, we all did it, solar system, styrofoam, whatever. She would tell me this is not real. She would say this is not God's world. They're lying to you. You know, and at the time, you know, you're little, you're kindergarten, first, second grade, third grade. I'm just like, you're so weird. In my head, I'm like, what a fucking weirdo. God, she's weird. I just want to go smoke a cigarette next door. My best friend
At
lived next
2
door.
years old?
No. Dude, I started smoking cigarettes back then. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, but third grade, we were smoking cigarettes.
Oh, yeah, you
we were
were
finding
deep.
butts outside. We don't give a fuck. So, you know, I'm from Chicago. It's just you just do what's going on. So, but she always kept me in line, man. But yeah, but no, she said that the planets, all the shit's all bullshit. So that kind of struck me. As soon as she passed is when my awakening started on steroids. You know, I knew about 9/11. Obviously, who the fuck wouldn't? If you're a human being, if you're non-human, I get it. But if you're a
How
human
old are
being,
you?
I'm 37.
So okay, so you were in your early 20s.
During 9/11, I was in high school.
Oh, you were in high
was
school.
in high school.
Well, that was math right there. So that was
all
like, yeah,
I was in high school.
yeah. So were you a conspiracy theorist before 9/11?
Yeah. Well, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I think that was it. That was the thing. That's what started it.
Like, you never wanted like to join the military. You weren't at that
no.
age. You weren't at
Fuck
that
no.
age where you were
Why?
like,
Did you think about it?
no, I was too young. But I wondered if when I saw the towers go down, I wonder how many people really sat there and like, yo, I'm at that age where I can sign up and go do something.
fuck
You know? No.
I would
I don't
never.
know.
That got a lot of people though, dude.
That
got
did
a
get a lot of
It
people.
did get a
wasn't
lot of
getting me.
people.
Hell no.
It got
but-
Pat Tillman to go. He quit his NFL career to go do that.
Poor guy. I mean, that.
Fuck that.
I want to do a show on that whole thing, dude. That was kind of crazy.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah, and and I remember, and this could be a Mandela effect again, but I remember that there was this feeling that a lot of women were joining the military too, and I was like, that was really weird. Like suddenly women wanted to be in the military to go fight, and
Propaganda.
probably, dude. I mean, like that was all I mean,
Well, it's
You can't do it without it.
biggest propaganda operation in history.
in the
Yeah.
history. I mean, up until what, COVID, right? I mean, like it's kind of.
Is it? Is that
No,
bigger
I
than
disagree.
9/11? Yeah, I
You
know.
think 9/11 was bigger than COVID?
No, Michael Jackson's a molester. Was bigger.
Okay, we'll get into
No,
that.
I'm just saying. Hey, I know it's on topic. I'm not trying to.
No, well, we're gonna get into
I'm just
that.
saying that was
Okay, we're
one
gonna
of
get
the
into-
biggest of all time.
Okay, so let's start. So Michael Jackson dies. I'm just gonna tell a real quick story.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson dies, and this connects to the worst gig I ever played in my life. The worst gig I ever played. So Michael Jackson dies. I'm in one of his old videos, and this will come back, and I'll bring up the video later when we talk about a certain thing you want to talk about. So they're going to have his memorial at Staples Center, and they decide to let Planet Earth figure out who's going to go to this memorial.
Okay, who's Planet Earth? I have no.
Planet Earth, like anybody in the world could go to this memorial.
Okay,
if
okay.
you
No, he meant
won.
plain Earth. It's
Okay,
okay.
yeah.
He-
Okay,
Go
okay.
ahead. No. We were confused. Sorry. Go ahead.
Respect,
My bad.
respect to Xavier Guerrero.
I was like, is that a corporation?
No, I was like, he's right here, dude.
Well, you get in the plane versus planet and who pushed it, the Jesuits, and what is their logo is a T, if you think about it.
T minus 1 minute. T minus. Think about NASA. Satan. They took the T out. T minus. They're telling you. They took the T out of NASA. It's Satan. That's all it is. Anyways.
Okay.
T minus.
I
Just
respect
saying.
that. T minus.
What they fucking say. They tell you the truth.
Johnny, thoughts on that?
Love it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. T
just
minus,
loved
dog. So,
Yep.
somehow Dana's sorority friend from college that she went to school in Maryland with somehow wins the lottery and gets one of these tickets. Literally, plain Earth had showed up to try to get these tickets, and she gets one, but she can't make it. So she gives it to Dana, and Dana and I go, and we get our wristbands, and we put it on. Like, I can't believe this, right? So Adam Hunter, my good friend Adam Hunter, does MMA Roasted. Funny, hardworking dude, really great guy. Calls me up. He's like, hey, dude, you want to do a gig? I'm like, yeah, I'll do a freaking gig. I don't even care. He's like, dude, show up here. It's in Long Beach. It's called Liquid Zoo. Show up. And I show up, dude, and I get in there, and it is the most hood bar I'd ever played in my life. Now, I was one of the rare comics that white guys, or I'm Armenian, but I consider myself white. I would go deep into the hood to do stand up because I wanted to be like New York City, get up like 3-4 times a night. So I would go do any gig in deep into the hood. Like this club called Mixed Nuts had gone deeper into the hood, and black comics were like, I'm not going there. I'm like, I'm going. I don't give a shit. I need stage time. And they would always put me up. So I play here, and I'm like, oh, dude, what is this fucking bar? I'm like, where's security? I can't see security. I walk to the back. Security's back there rolling joints in the middle of the bar. Back when, dude, this weed wasn't
yeah,
legal then.
Yeah, it wasn't common to walk in and see that shit, right? Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, fuck. So I'm freaking the fuck out. I'm like, this is a weird gig. I watch like every ethnic type comic go up and do the exact same act. It'd be like if it was a Mexican, be like, Mexicans eat pussy like this. And then black comic go up, blacks eat pussy like this. And it was just like, I'm like, oh my God. And I'm just pacing outside. And everyone's going like, what's going on? Oh, no, I'm just waiting to go up. He goes, hey man, what's on your wrist? I go, oh dude, I got a pass to the Michael Jackson memorial. He goes, come here. He goes, dude, don't tell anybody what that is. Yeah. They will fucking mug you right now and fucking take that from you in 2 heartbeats. And I'm like, oh, great, bro.
Why were you wearing it around? I don't understand that.
Because I just put it on so I didn't lose it.
Because you love them.
It's like it's like a Coachella wristband. You put it on the
you
second
just
you
gotta
get. You gotta
put
let
it on.
everybody know I'm going to Coachella next week. It's 3 weeks from now.
You were showing off.
Yeah, he was flexing on
Yeah,
everybody.
dude, you just went, bro. It was like, and dude, I did the scariest 10 minutes of my life.
I bet so, dude.
Scared, dude. I closed on this thing called Sexy Dance Competition, which would get me Me Too'd, basically. But basically what you do is you do a sexy dance competition. I would take a chick, flip her upside down, skull hump her, and like that would be the big closer. Right? So
How did that work?
dude, it was chicks would love it. And then I would
Really?
get banned from comedy clubs. Never
It's
allowed
the
to do it.
liquid zoo and the mixed nuts, dude.
Yeah,
What do you
they don't give a
expect? Like, they don't
shit,
give a
bro.
fuck.
Would you throw
They're
your
like,
back?
go on, boy, you crazy.
Would you throw your back out if you tried that now?
Now today I wouldn't do it. And you couldn't do that now.
Oh
And-
God,
and
dude,
this-
no. Yeah, I mean, unless you want to go to jail. For a
Yeah,
night,
right. But back in the day, it was like, crush it, bro. I was
That's
so proud.
crazy. That's
But-
crazy that you got warned. Because imagine if you were on stage and you wanted to mention it or something.
Yeah, you'd be in trouble, bro. Because Michael Jackson was huge for generations.
So-
and he's still huge.
How was the event you went to? Because you went, right?
Yeah, it was at the Staples Center. It was crazy.
Well, yeah, you're
bro.
right, dude. There's a version of Michael Jackson for every generation. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the people who are older had like the Jackson 5 and they loved it. Like, I know people that love the Jackson 5, like love, and you know, I that's probably my favorite version of Michael Jackson. And then, you know, as you get older, you kind of grow up with the guy. He's like the Beatles for another generation.
100%. They always tried to say that like Public Enemy was the Black Beatles, but I think it was Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Except he had longevity, like the Beatles never could have dreamed of. I mean, Michael Jackson was a success in how many decades? 3, 4 decades?
Since the 60s, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. He was like, and you look at that Jackson 5, there's a lot of darkness in there,
Oh, man. His dad.
Just
Just what a piece of shit, man. Piece
man.
of shit. Beat
You know?
the shit out of them all the time, yeah.
And just from a different time where you did that, dude.
Yeah, but he was particularly hard. Even for that time, he was a hard nut.
And then
that was
who
bad.
knows what Michael Jackson went through when we know about what children in the industry go through.
You're talking about how they say they castrated him? You've heard that, right?
I did hear that, too.
Yeah, that's why his
I-
voice is so high, because he never hit puberty.
Yeah, I you know what? I did a little research on that. There's not much evidence one way or the other, but I wouldn't be shocked if that.
Yeah, I mean, he is very slight. I mean, just a very slender man with some feminine affect. So I could see that.
Yeah, because they say they used to do that to the opera singer people to keep
Yeah,
that high
what they
voice.
call them, castratos or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah, and like Brooke Shields dated him, and then there was Hollywood chicks dated him, and they all said
any of them-
that they fucked and stuff, but they were just like, it seemed like he just was into saving the world. He didn't give a fuck about fucking me. There was no like, it's doggy style tonight. Like that wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah.
like it was like I got bigger plans in mind. and,
I'm
like,
Michael Jackson. I'm the most famous person. I'm sorry
Ever.
if I'm
Yeah.
not focusing on your
Gotta go
ass
hang
right
out with
now.
Macaulay Culkin right now. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
all right, I'm prepared. Don't worry.
Okay.
Keep
all right,
throwing
we'll
them.
get into it.
It's all right.
So what do you want to start with first? The allegations or they might be still alive? What do you guys want to go?
I would say the allegations simply for the audience.
Okay.
Because who the fuck wants to hear about a pedo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody. I don't either.
Right.
So that's why I'm talking about Michael Jackson, because
Okay.
he wasn't.
Okay.
Well, let me ask you guys. What if you had to give me your best proof that he was? What can you come up with?
Okay.
That's all.
So, again, like I said, I was in a Michael Jackson video. I don't remember what it was. It was one of his much later shows. I could hit up Dana and ask her which video it was.
Sure.
But she was, she worked with him, and she was, producing the music video. and she went to his green room and was cleaning up. And in the green room, she told me she found Tiger Beat magazine.
What's that?
I'm not looking it up.
No, it's not. It's not like.
It's not like, but it was a magazine that used to get put out. That was this.
It's like for teenage boys, kind of like a sort of a
kid pop.
rock,
Like kid pop type
this
stuff,
kind
yeah.
of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it was super, but like back.
That doesn't prove anything.
Well, I mean,
I get it. We know it's documented. He likes hanging out with kids. I mean, we know
Sure,
that. He's
sure. No one's gonna say he's not.
I'm just saying.
But if you're at court and this is the first thing you present, they're gonna laugh.
no.
Well, I'm
yeah.
not prosecuting. I'm just saying.
I want you
asked
guys to
what was
prosecute so I can battle it for you.
Well, I will say this:
simple.
if if he isn't, he sure didn't do himself any favors. You know what I mean? Like in the public perception.
Who swayed you?
Like you wouldn't
Just
be
admit
weirded
it.
out. You wouldn't be weirded out if Sam had a plethora of those in his car, and you for somehow went in there and there was a
What little boys or
the
Tiger Beat?
Tiger
Okay,
Beat,
gotcha,
like some
gotcha.
magazines like that.
Yes, because Sam's a regular human being.
Oh, so so Michael Jackson was just weird.
I don't know what Michael Jackson was, or ever was, but he was not like us. He was not normal.
Okay, what does that mean?
Well, as we all know, he had no childhood. He got probably thrown in fireplaces for missing a note. You know, so write that in there. You're different.
So you're saying he was his trauma made him different. So he looked at the world different.
I think once he grew up and saw the world for what it was, and once he started to get away from the family, is when he became even extra weird because he didn't know how to handle it. And I think eventually towards the life that we stopped watching, because everyone was a fan of Michael. Everyone. Who changed your mind? The same people that told you to get vaccinated, okay? The media.
And LaToya Jackson.
Yeah, LaToya Jackson was paid for that one. But here's the thing. It's like, again, we go back to, you know, not these conspiracies, but not these or this or you know, when people say like the media lies, but not now, not when they found 7 new planets. They didn't lie then, or they didn't lie when they said Michael Jackson molested boys. That's all I'm saying is like, who's telling you the information?
Well, that's my biggest one is that LaToya Jackson held a press conference and said he was, you know, she.
Yeah, and then she retracted though.
Yeah, but come on, I mean,
Yeah.
Well,
Do you know that she admitted to making money from that? So it's not like it's. I mean, that can happen.
And that can
Yeah,
happen.
of course.
Okay,
Sure.
and she is a crazy person. Her
Sure.
career never
Yeah.
took
Was
off
never
the
close
way-
with Michael. There you go.
She never took off the way Janet Jackson and Michael Jackson did.
Correct.
Okay, so that's 100%. So the other thing is, and I'm not saying that I know this person so well, but the interactions I've had with this person, which was Louis Planker, I believe is her name. She was a stand-up comic at the Laugh Factory, and she was a very straight-laced human being. She is one of the people who testified at his trial that he was giving kids alcohol.
Oh, she said he was giving kids alcohol.
Yeah, the Jesus juice stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would need to have a conversation with her and read through her eyes because anyone could lie. I know
Right.
it's your friend.
it's a lot of people lying about this particular.
No, there's not
individual.
really, because the
Well-
FBI investigated what she said and what everybody else said for 12 years and found a goddamn nothing.
Well, that's
So,
what
I
people
mean-
said though is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
There's
that's
a
what
lot
I
of
mean.
people who are
Yeah.
saying things about.
Of
this man.
course, man. Money. I'm not saying her, but money talks.
Okay,
Money
so-
talks, man.
Okay.
Period.
So, what is your evidence, in your opinion, on why he isn't? Because you're not the first guy to come on the show and say,
Sure.
R.A. the Rugged Man said the exact same thing, and we didn't get into the in-depth, but he never felt that Michael did what he was accused of. Now, I will tell you that, you know, my view of all of these allegations now go through the spectrum of watching my friends
Sure.
get annihilated without evidence. You know, one like Brian Callen was just a simple accusation that if you took out the word sexual or the phrase sexual assault and you inserted having sex, it's the exact same story. Okay? And he was just annihilated for it. So I am very open to the possibilities that there are lynchings going on through the media.
Yeah.
So I have no problems with having a discussion about that. So that is my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I listen. It's understandable when you listen to this guy and watch him and stuff through the years. It's hard to defend. Sorry, it's weird. It's weird. It's not normal. It's not what we have been conditioned as in this modern day as human beings as acceptable. It's not the way it is. It's not acceptable.
Oh, real quick.
Yeah.
Johnny, do you think this might have anything kind of like your passionate defense of Woody Allen?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean it's possible.
And to be honest with you,
The thing
Johnny,
about my
that
Woody Al-
episode
Can I-
has changed my opinion of Woody Allen.
Can I just
and-
say though, Woody Allen had one accusation decades ago, you know, like and since then nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
all right, but
And no offense to Johnny, because I never looked into that, but that sounds more realistic than a campaign against him. A media frenzy.
no, there's been a campaign against Woody Allen. I'm just saying there's only ever been
he's
you know,
saying one person
incident,
did it
one incident.
when we have
ever.
multiple.
Well, I never
people.
heard of it, so I don't know how campaigny it was. But
It
Oh, it was
big.
a
all right,
It
I'll
was
take
awesome.
I'll take your word for it. I mean, I just meant on the level that they've been making fun of Michael
Oh, it's not.
Jackson.
It's not
since
as
they were-
big as Michael. No,
Nothing will
no
ever
way.
be
Yeah, yeah.
Michael Jackson.
No, I just meant the story itself
But it
of people
dominated
coming forward
the media.
out of nowhere. I mean, the two guys that made the HBO special. If you watch, what was that? Leaving Neverland, HBO.
Yeah.
If you watch Entering Neverland, which I made, it's on Rockfin. If you watch that one,
I like that name, dude. That's so smart. That's
thank you.
good. I like that.
It's and I actually got some. That was the first time I ever got press in my life. Some media outlet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, newspaper. So whatever online. I was like, oh shit, it was years ago.
Entering Neverland,
But
that's
so Entering Neverland, I debunked the entire thing. None of that happened. Not only that, but the guy, I forgot his fucking name now. Not James Safechuck, but the other guy.
Someone's the last name is Safe Chuck.
Yes.
That's the
Sam's out.
yeah. I'm out.
Yeah,
All
well,
right,
these
right
are the
there,
guys
you're
that came
sketchy.
on it once Michael passed away. Once the news said Michael passed away, they came forward and built their case. and
Wade
said,
Robson.
Yes, my bad, man, brain fart. Wade Robson. Wade Robson testified for Michael Jackson during the first case in what was it, 93 or 95. He was on trial and said Michael didn't do shit. Nothing ever happened. He testified, and now all of a sudden Michael passes away, and this guy's saying, "Oh yeah, he touched me." Well, you already said that. You already said that you can't lie one way or the other in court. You can't lie to protect yourself. You can't lie to.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
can't.
what is that called?
And I gotta be honest with you, man. The more and more,
Perjury?
if there's
Lying.
one channel that I do not trust their docs at all, it's HBO.
Yeah.
yeah.
After the Woody Allen stuff, they had
Campus
me
rape
convinced.
doc by those same
Yep.
documentarians.
Yeah, and then the QAnon shit that was stupid as fuck, right? Why they're all blueing on. I mean, it's like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but again, I mean,
Okay, so wait up. So
Yeah.
I don't really know a lot about Michael Jackson. I was kind of young when that shit was happening, but I do remember the story, especially in the Mexican community, where some kid slept over at his house.
Okay,
How do
let's
you
start from
yeah,
the
how do you
beginning.
okay,
Let's
yeah.
start from the beginning. Where do you want to start?
well, we could just keep it going. I mean, the same thing we're talking about.
Okay.
that was a great question.
He does like to hang out with children, though, right? Like he did like to hang out with
Correct.
children. Okay.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, in his words, that were the only people that understood him. It was the only people that understood him. Everybody else looked at him like he was a prophet, and he couldn't deal with it. No one could be themselves around him. Even people that we think are celebrities, they couldn't be themselves around him. It was like
He was a celebrity amongst celebrities.
it was like it was something different. And he said children just they wanted to do what he did. He wants to play video games. He wants to go on the water slides. He wants to go on the Ferris wheel. He wants to pet all these animals. Strange for a grown man to act that way. But I'm not castrated, and I didn't have his childhood, so I don't know how I would act. I don't know.
Right,
But when
right.
people when the media and the government and all these people that hated him for multiple reasons.
What were some of the reasons?
Oh my God. A black man trying to save the world in America? Oh no. Can't do that. They don't want a white man doing it. They're not gonna have a black man doing it.
All right.
They don't want that shit.
Is that maybe that's why he was changing his skin color?
Ah.
You know? 'Cause he thought they
And
would.
you know, he
leave him
was
alone.
starting
a lot
to
of
get
rabbit holes with that one, but
a
yeah.
lot of talk about anti-Semitism against him because he had a couple lyrics here and there. And, you know, I also think when you try to go off reservation, meaning that you blow up through the system and then you end up going and doing your own thing, they hate that. They hate when
like the
they,
mafia.
Yep. They hate when they blow you up and then you try to do your own thing. And you can go through a list of people that try to do it that got fucking kneecapped.
Yeah.
Louis C.K., who admitted that he did what he did, but they blew it up to be, in my humble opinion,
Well, no, he did. He asked somebody if he could jerk off in front of him, and then he did what they told him he could do.
Mistake of going, yes, I did all this, thinking that would.
But I just thought, I mean, the thing that he did, what he did, is just consensual sexual activity. It's crazy.
I'm with you on that, but he did say he did that, and then there was Prince. He went off reservation. They hated that.
Yeah.
Tupac wanted to go off reservation. They hated that. So you see it constantly when people start trying to do their own shit. They fucking kneecap that stuff real quick.
Well, yeah, I mean, to me, the Michael Jackson's change of mind on everything that he's been through in his life started with the Pepsi commercial when he got his hair caught on fire. And I think him and his family all think that was on purpose. I don't know why. It's very hard when something so old took place. It's very hard to get real information on it. It's just harder than something that happens today. But it looks like after the Pepsi commercial, because he's worn a wig ever since. That wasn't his hair. That was a wig since the Pepsi commercial. Yeah, this shit's legit. So
That's gotta be the scariest shit, dude. When your head just catches on fire.
yeah, I think he had. I could be wrong, but I think it was 3rd-degree burns.
If it was on purpose, what would be the theory on it? They were trying to kill him?
Look at that, dude.
I don't know if they were trying to kill him that far back, man. But man, this guy was making a lot of music about holding hands and coming together and having peace on earth and heaven on earth and man in the mirror and make a change and love your neighbor. And they're like, whoa, what the fuck is going on with this guy? I thought he was moonwalking and grabbing his cock. We're cool with that. He's distracting everyone. But now he's talking about the stuff that we don't want that out. You got 2-3 billion people all singing Man in the Mirror. Collective consciousness kicks in. They don't want that. They don't want that. And this guy was making good, solid, positive music. So all of a sudden he starts making songs like They Don't Care About Us. And they're like, okay, fuck you then, dude. Everything that we fucking gave your family and shit, fuck you. We're going to completely molest you in the news and see what happens next to your career. And it's not even about what happens next. I think he had bigger and better plans after he saw what they did to him. But it's the way I saw, like with my own eyes, I saw people that I knew like, no, there's no way. Once these little paid trolls started coming out, like, oh yeah, he touched me 4 years ago once in the back of a train station. It's like, oh, I'm done with Michael. I'm like, you're gonna believe that? That's all it takes is some guy on TV to say, yes, Michael touched me, and it's like, oh, he's a freak. It's like, okay, and to what XG was saying, as far as I've researched, every single child that ever stayed at that ranch had their family with them. I know that we all have this envision of this fucking bus coming up with children, and all the parents are like, see you tomorrow, Billy. And they all go to Michael's mansion. Get the fuck out. Really?
Sounds like Ezra Miller.
That's not going to happen. That doesn't
That's the same thing Ezra Miller's doing. I mean, we talked about this. He pays these women to let their kids come and hang out with him, sleep in his bed and stuff. We're talking about Ezra Miller now.
Okay, I was like, Jackson. Whoa, I never heard this one.
Yeah. So, I mean, the mothers are there with the kids, they're just pimping them out. I mean, it's terrible.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing.
So you're telling me the whole family spent the night, or no one spent the night at all?
No, there was like dozens of bedrooms. Yeah, I mean, it was like, so basically, a lot of times when he had these Neverland Ranch things, it was for charities. Okay, it was for charities, very sick children that most of the world doesn't give a fuck about. Okay, but he did. So that's why he built an amusement park in his yard, not to molest anyone. With their mom and dad in the background, like, I'll be right back. No, it's to help these children. But again, with the conditioning that we all have as human beings, it's just a weird thing. Why are you always around children? But if you could take a step out of the conditioning, that's a beautiful thing he's doing. But people just can't grasp that. They can't, because the fucking brainwashing is so strong with it. It's impossible. And plus, with the real pedos in Hollywood and the real bullshit going and the sex trafficking and all this shit, it's just easier for people to not research, not look into it, and just go, yeah, it's believable. Look at his nose, or it's like Johnny. I think Johnny said he wasn't helping himself in the process, but I don't think he was trying to.
I do believe there is something about when you start getting that big, you start putting out like super enlightening music. They don't like that. I'm convinced that's why Netflix has yet to bring back Duncan Trussell's show, because it was so super spiritual, and enlightening and
Positive.
It was super positive. I mean, that last episode, I cried, dude.
I can't finish it.
I cried. It was so super positive.
Difficult.
Yes, there were moments where he had that Damien Eccles guy on who's a scumbag, but you know, there was a lot of positive energy in a lot of the episodes, and I
don't want that.
They don't want that.
Do you think there's any way he could make a season 2 without Netflix? I know they have the name, but is there any way he could just say call it something else, kind of like
Depends on the
Ari,
contract,
kind of like Ari did with fucking What's Happening?
Yeah, but how long did I mean, dude?
Yeah, animation's crazy. Yeah,
animation's so expensive.
And they did
dude.
such a good job.
And it was like it was the number 2 show on the globe on Netflix.
Was it really? Oh,
Yeah,
I
it
didn't realize
got
it was that.
so
I knew it did
big.
well.
And I don't even know if he ever heard back from them. And I was like, that's the best show we've seen. So yeah, they do that, dude. And when you start putting out the positive stuff, they don't like that.
No, and you have to remember, it's a lot easier nowadays to hit a button and cancel them. I mean, this is, you know, the 80s, 90s here, and it's like, fuck, this guy's positive.
from
He's
your-
too positive.
Imagine if Michael Jackson's thing would have happened right now with Instagram and shit.
What, the death?
No,
The
the
death
whole
or the
whole
molestation,
the
Joe?
whole the whole case about how this shit's happening. Do you think it would be different with us being more woke and having more proof of videos? Because once you
Yeah.
see something, you believe it is what it is. Back then, you just said it. I saw it. That's what it is.
Correct. The news said it. That was the number one thing back in the day. Was like, well, the news said it.
Yeah.
So I was the one fighting it. Like, what are you talking about? Like, how can you just turn your back on some guy that's done so much good for the world? It's like no one cares about. It's like, oh, the news said one thing or two things about somebody. Everything he's ever done is gone. Now, guess what? If those things are true, well, fuck him. But they're not. They're not. The FBI did a 12-year investigation, found nothing. When you hear that, are you telling me that they couldn't have even planted something on the guy they hated so much? It's crazy. They found nothing. Not one scrap of evidence that said he ever did anything to anyone ever. Ever. So I'm not saying the FBI is on my side, guys. No. Fuck them too. It's just a point. For the regular people in the world that just buy he molested someone. The news said it. That means he had to have. And stand-up comedians make fun of him, and movies make fun of him, and all this. It's everywhere. Eminem had a parody song about him. It was #1 on the charts.
To play devil's advocate, is there any way he could have pulled an OJ and paid off people? Had a good lawyer, found his way around a loophole?
A loophole for what? The first case was settled by his insurance company without his knowledge. That's public information.
Okay, I never heard that.
The second case, he said, fuck settling shit and fuck the insurance companies. I'm going to go in my pajamas. I don't give a fuck. I didn't do shit. And he literally showed up in his pajamas. Does what he wants. Fucking rock star. Shows up in his pajamas. You got nothing on me. I'm going to come in my pajamas. I'll come in my pajamas every fucking day. I don't give a fuck. Because I did nothing wrong, and the FBI knew that, and they were just trying to drag this along for years and years. That's how you destroy someone's career and image, and you turn the world against them. You turn the world. How do we turn the world against someone that's trying to save it? You accuse them of the lowest form of a man, period. There's nothing worse. I'd rather be a murderer. You'd rather be a rapist than a child molester. That's the worst thing you could. So you pin that on him because you can't touch him. You can't kill him. The guy's got so much.
Or can
dude.
you?
No, you can't. He's got
gonna get into that.
military connections. Well, he's got the most powerful. People that talk about there's a counter.
Military connections?
Oh my God, yeah. The people that talk about there's a counter to the New World Order. So when I go down the rabbit hole in 2009, I left it behind me in 2014. Thank you, Eric Dubay. Flat Earth, I'm just like, fuck this. The Earth's fucking flat. So I'm just like, fuck this thing. Fuck this door. Okay. But here's the thing.
What
Now-
gets you more looks of crazy? Michael Jackson didn't do it, or flat Earth?
in 2015, it would have been Flat Earth. Today, it'd be Mike. Would give me crazier looks.
Oh no,
probably.
they're
Both
pretty
some
lenient.
black
They're pretty
belt shit.
lenient.
Listen to me. So you did this doc, and it's like entering Neverland. What were some of the key points in that doc that you brought up that helped you believe that this isn't what we thought it was?
Yeah. So with entering Neverland, again, that's why I started before with he already testified. He was already in court under oath and said nothing ever happened ever. So that guy grew up. Michael passed away apparently, and he wants money. Not only that, but he was trying to get the Cirque du Soleil job Okay, they called him, Wade Robson. They called him, and when Michael died, and said, "You're going to be a contestant to do like some Cirque du Soleil event honoring Michael." And he's like, "Oh, thank God, my dream come true. Michael's the greatest of all time." And this is him at that time, around that same age, talking, "I can't wait, I can't wait." If you watch on a Rough, you'll see he's all excited about putting this show together. Then they said, "You know what? We're going to hire someone else for the show. But thank you, though. Thank you for your rehearsals. Thank you for your showing us what you guys were going to do, but we're not going to hire you. We're going to go with them." He goes, "What? Fuck. I told everyone, I told everyone I was going to do this." They started writing an all-tell book. Out of nowhere, it's like, "I'm just going to write a book. Michael Jackson touched me, this and that. Maybe his insurance company will settle. I'm broke. I thought I was going to have a Cirque du Soleil job. I'm already a washed-up fucking wannabe Justin Timberlake type of guy, dance instructor type of guy." He's not. He goes, "Fuck, okay. This is the only thing I can do right now. Michael's gone, right? So let me write this book." No one wanted the book. No publishing companies wanted the book at all. They didn't touch it. Now, someone, I forgot the guy's name, but someone picked it up, saw it, and said we could and got it all introduced with HBO and all that good stuff. And all of a sudden, the same lawyer that he has, James Safechuck has. So these two fucking clowns that go on HBO, they have the same lawyer. They got the same lawyer at the same time. It's like... What? They got the same lawyer at the same time. They went forward and said, "All this stuff happened to me. All this stuff happened to me," without any evidence, completely lying. I think one of the stories, too, in the HBO special was that he was getting touched at the train station or something. It wasn't even built yet. Train station wasn't even built yet in the year he was saying it was happening. If you poke holes in that HBO special, it's so obvious. Not only that, but truthers, we should all know that when you're fucking lying, you watch someone, they're fucking lying. They're lying. Okay, period. They're lying. And the media is lying when it comes to Michael. They always have been. But there's multiple reasons for that. It's not just because, of some created allegations. Those allegations came out of nowhere. It wasn't actually something that was happening at that time. Nothing was going on at that time in Michael's life. That shit was just, all of a sudden he wakes up and he's in the news and police are coming in to strip him naked. They wanted to get rid of him, but I think they were teaching him a lesson in the process. They said, "We're going to fuck up your career. Hopefully we fuck your mind up, you piece of shit. Don't ever try to threaten us with saving the world." And now no one's going to even want you at their house anymore. No one's even going to want you to sign an autograph. And they almost pulled it off, in my opinion. They almost pulled it off. I think they swayed a lot of people. "Oh, fuck him. I'm done with him." It's like, did you even look into anything? Did you hear any of these actors talk about their testimonies? That it's again, you have to go down the hole to understand this stuff. And most people, who cares? That's all it is. And I've been in this who care boat since 2009. But once you said you want to get weird about some Michael shit, I'm like, I got a lot of ammo. But the one thing I want to tell everybody is Dr. Conrad Murray. Okay, this is a guy that supposedly murdered Michael, manslaughter, whatever. In my opinion, from my research, that Michael brought him in for this show. Okay, everyone involved in this court case. There was like stuffed animals in the courtroom during his trial. Actually, Johnny, can you pull up Conrad Murray video real quick, if you don't mind, Sam? I want you to see. Now, you guys have to understand before you hit play. Understand this. Let me ask you a hypothetical question. You walk in. Is this a legal courtroom? If the state seal on the wall is not real, are you in a real courtroom?
What do you mean by real?
The official California state seal has 32 stars.
Illuminati.
31 or 32 stars, whatever. Anyways, the official number of the California state seal, you watch Lindsay Lohan's, OJ's, wherever, California trials, you'll see the state seal. Go into court, you'll see the state seal. Certain amount of stars on California. Well, this had a different amount on there. So, in my opinion, again, this is a stretch, but I think this entire operation was directed and produced by Michael himself, and they leaked these out to the press because press was not allowed inside or out around that trial. It was really weird. You can't get in there. I don't think anything's going on inside there. I think they're literally feeding these courtroom cases. If you play Dr. Conrad Murray, you'll see this guy. And listen, they say alleged. Everything's alleged in his guilty sentence. Alleged, and okay, just play.
So, but wait up. So everybody in there got paid, and everybody knows that they got paid.
I think these are all Michael's people. That's my opinion. I think they're all Michael's people, and they're let out to the media.
Work, basically.
But why?
Yeah, it's staged.
Okay, so the
it's a
question
staged court case. It's
why
a staged.
does he stage this? What is your opinion?
You need to sell it to the demons. You need to sell it to the people that you're trying to defeat. That you are passed away. There's a real court case going on. There's a real doctor going to jail. It's like they do it to us all the time. We know this.
So
crisis
media
events, they do it to us.
right?
Michael's doing it to them, in my opinion. And he's been doing it. When's the last time you heard about him? Ever? He did. To me, he pulled it off. He could have died yesterday. So I'm not sitting here saying he's alive to present. I don't fucking know where he is. He ain't died that day. And this whole thing's, if you look into it for even a week, you will see the entire court case is a sham. It looks worse than the Johnny Depp one going. It just looks, it's beyond stage. It's beyond hilarious. They have stuffed animals in the courtroom. They're saying the word alleged over and over again when they're giving Michael's wrong name. They're saying his name. If you play this video, at the very end of this video too, I'll show you the death certificate versus his driver's license and passports. Different name.
Okay, so
Can
let's
Can I just ask you really quickly about this?
Yeah.
It was covered by media, right? Were there cameras in the courtroom? There were, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
No, not media. It was like a oh man, it was a very small company that was getting the feeds, and those feeds were being released to the news propaganda once it was over.
It was at the court. It was I guess what I'm getting at is was it staged at a courthouse though? At the court? I mean, they would know.
I wish I knew that one. Yeah.
All right, so let's take a look at this video.
Yeah.
Walk us through it.
Tell me your correct complete name, please.
I didn't make these videos, so don't mind the music. And
Robert Murray.
hit pause real quick.
Hit pause.
No, you'll see it. Yeah. So there's a stuffed animal. There's a lot of these things in the courtroom. I used to watch many of the court trials, and me and my buddy way back in the day, we were always looking for something. We knew that was staged, and they would put fucking stuffed animals. I just thought it was weird. That's all. This was just weird.
Let's
like,
set
what do you?
stage. This is what you believe is
This
to be
is
a
stage.
fake trial.
This is
What we're
staged.
seeing is Conrad Murray. By the way, I was doing Michael Jackson death jokes the day he died.
Wow.
You think I'm fearless?
Hope you didn't do it in that black club. Man.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, your
So he this is the trial. This is a TMZ clip, and what we see is up top there's a stuffed animal that looks like either
Follow the White Rabbit. That was the whole motive behind they used to be called Believers, the Michael Jackson hoax people, investigators in 2009, 2010,
they
2011.
said follow the White Rabbit.
It was everything was White Rabbit related. There's a lot of White Rabbit stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Go on.
Go ahead.
For those who are watching the trial live on ABC, you notice that every time they went to break,
Yeah, they'd zoom. Hit pause.
they paused.
So they'd zoom in on this every trial. Okay. Now I know this one's blurry. You could probably find better ones online. I didn't have much time last night, but if we can do that now. We don't have to. Trust me. If you count those stars, hit play. Count those stars, and watch the.
But there's something wrong with
Yeah,
this
you'll see the
crest.
original one.
The real crest has 31 stars, go to the top, representing the 31 states. This is the real seal. As you see, the real seal is 31.
We're gonna get. I should probably mute this. Right?
Yeah, you can mute it.
But, okay, look at the Michael album cover.
Yeah, this is his new album after he passed away, apparently. The extra star and the striped background of the courtroom is on the album cover. I know it's kind of a push, but it was a random... Those are just floating there randomly, too, on the cover. It's kind of weird. And it literally came out right after this shit. So there's an extra star on the state seal in his courtroom.
So he stole it.
It's illegal. That's
interesting.
illegal. You can't. I mean, it protects him from entrapment. Actually, you have to unmute this one. This is when they're reading the guilty.
Hold on. Sorry.
It's all good. You can just start from here. It's fine. Listen to what they say. Listen closely.
The jury in the above entitled action find the defendant, Conrad Robert Murray, guilty of the crime of involuntary manslaughter in violation of Penal Code Section 192, subsection B. Alleged victim, Michael Joseph Jackson. Alleged date of June 25th.
Alleged?
2009.
Hit pause real quick, Donnie. Sorry.
Yeah,
and guess
that's
what?
so interesting.
That's not his middle name. So not only is it an alleged victim of Michael Joseph Jackson, his legal
Why
name is Michael
they
Joe
saying
Jackson.
That Johnny, thoughts your
Bullshit.
legal counsel. What do you think?
Well, it's funny. I mean, if you Google his name, it says Joseph, but what
That's
you're
the
saying
press.
it's just
not real.
Yeah, they got to him. Okay.
not his name.
What is his real name?
Joe. Just Joe. Born Joe, always Joe. Never Joseph. The CNN says it's Joseph, and so does the news and the courtrooms and the alleged trials and also Michael Joe. It's not his fucking name. It's not his name. And it's also on the birth certificate at the very end of this video. I'm going to show you.
All right.
This is just TMZ. Someone kept calling in. Listen to this. It wasn't me.
I have an answer. One more because we got this question several times. Literally, someone wrote this question in about 4,000 times in the last 15 minutes. So here we go. Do you guys realize that Michael Jackson's legal name is Michael Joe Jackson? Yes, we do. Thank you. All right, guys. That's it for TMZ.
Even though they keep saying
We'll see you
Joseph.
back here tomorrow.
So here's his. I got some of these. I've had these on hard drives for a long time. It's all Joe. It always will be Joe. Always was Joe.
So do you think they said Joseph because someone else died, or they're putting someone else on
No,
it?
it's a stage. It's not his name. It literally protects him from entrapment. Fake
Oh, from acting
courtroom,
like he died?
fake court case, fake death. If you pause here too, this is the actual service when they were bringing him into the LA coroner's office. His name is spelled wrong on purpose. Date of birth is wrong on purpose. These are things that no one would look. No one would ever see this stuff. This is what I was doing, man. This is all I was researching for years at one point. This is all public information too. This isn't like I didn't Photoshop
Allegedly, it's
anything.
weird.
So as long as you don't put the right dates, you can't get caught for faking your death. Is
No, it's
that
called
kinda
it's called persecuted for entrapment, and he clear. Listen, if there was entrapment involved, I probably would just keep this to myself. But since he's already legally protected himself from entrapment, including a fake courtroom, fake documents, it's all fake.
So the
Can't
fake
go to
courtroom
jail.
thing though is interesting to me because I mean I found video of people outside the courtroom during the Conrad Murray trial. So I mean they were at the courthouse. Now if it's not, and I mean did they rent a side?
feed
How does
wa-
that work?
I didn't see anyone walk from and I looked for many years.
So you never saw people coming in and out. Okay,
I never saw
interesting.
someone
All
go
right.
on the outside of the courtroom and walk in and join the courtroom. And it always seemed like it was just being fed. A feed was being fed.
Like a
and then the
stream,
news
yeah.
would get those feeds and show you the highlights. That's all. The news, they're powerful, but they're not guaranteed to get anything. They're just not. And this is a high profile case.
Interesting.
HIBBELER, a few more documents here. Then we can continue.
And what about like all the legal filings? That this just because it's all the details are wrong. You're saying they're not legitimate. Is what?
Yeah, again, it's like a movie.
In
It's like he's
violation of
shooting a
Penal
movie
Code
right now. I
Section
think you rewinded too much.
195.
Guys, that's
All right. So
Just
here
looking
we
at
go.
his docs, driver license. Well, he smiled for that one. That's cool.
They don't let you
It
smile.
looks kind of
Hey,
white.
Michael
But when
Jackson
you're
does
Michael
whatever he
Jackson,
wants.
you do whatever you want.
Yeah.
All right, so I think after this one, I put each of them for like 5 or 10 seconds.
Now, do you think there was a body, or no body?
No.
No body at
There's
all.
no
Okay.
evidence of one either.
Okay, so they
Is
didn't,
this-
they
is
didn't
this-
Epstein him.
Yeah, about to say, did Epstein learn from this guy?
Nah, man. I'm sure that he wants to go after Epstein.
Fun facts.
No, I'm just showing you that they're putting Joseph. This is CNN. I'm just wanting to show everyone. That's what CNN says, so you probably shouldn't believe that. They got it wrong. And the death certificate's also saying Joseph. That's not his name. I know it's similar. I know we all want to be like, yeah, but it's short for Joe. Listen, my middle name is Michael. Okay? If my death certificate's Sean Mike Hibbler, you can't put Sean Mike Hibbler. You can't do that on my death certificate. You know that, and I know that.
I did know that, but I know that now.
You can't put Mike on my death certificate. It's not my middle name. My middle name is Michael. His middle name is Joe. So again, you could look at that as like, it's just one of those things. No, it's not just one of those things. It's not his name. So his name, not only was it alleged in the court case for his trial, the alleged victim and the alleged date, again, I researched this, that protects him from entrapment, period. And you guys know about Dave. You guys.
Why
Yep.
would he be? What would be the entrapment? What do you mean by
Can't
that?
fake your death.
Well, it's the part that's I think confusing me and Sam is that entrapment usually
Court.
involves police.
Yeah.
Faking operations to.
It's
to
a government
to
courtroom.
get people
Can't
arrested.
fake that. You can't really be in court and it's fake.
Okay,
So you're saying that by by accusing Conrad of murder or manslaughter, but it's not really manslaughter.
No, I think Michael knew this guy. His family knew him. And he came out of nowhere too, Murray. I think he was just the fall guy for Michael. You might have to take a couple bullets, get some dirty looks, but you got to do this for me.
So do you think he's in jail, Conrad Murray? Have you tried to call him?
Have I tried to call Conrad Murray? Yeah. No, I tried to look. Well, it's funny you said that. I actually tried my hardest to find like an email or something like that for him. But again, the Conrad Murray thing's my opinion. But at the same time, the trial is fake. I don't know what to. That's my point of this. I don't know what to make of this. Because if you investigate the actual court case and you see the false documents and the courtroom, it cannot be a legal government building if the state if there's alterations. It's a studio set at that point. But who's shooting?
Do you think the cops that showed up when they called in his death were real too?
No, that didn't happen that way.
All that was fake?
No, it didn't happen that way. Apparently, they were rushed to the hospital, even though the ambulance stayed in his driveway for 5 minutes.
Yeah, because I remember seeing
it went back and forth. It's a show. I'm telling you, I know it sounds weird, man. It's a show. It went up, and then went back, and then it went forward a little, and it went back, and then it went back real slow, and then slower. It was like a if you had. I don't care if it's your grandma in there. Hurry the fuck up.
How do you know?
Well, everybody saw the ambulance.
Yeah, I remember that.
My point is this. They were not being quick. There was no emergency involved.
Is this also the video where he gets out of it?
No, I don't buy that for 1 second. I know what you're talking about, Sam. No. See, that, again, just because it's like, it helps my story, it's not real. You know? So I don't try to talk about stuff like that.
Yeah,
because
you're right. Real emergency here, huh?
Yeah, I know. Michael Jackson's dead. No one cares. And again, my opinion, but this was not that day. This was filmed way before that, man. This was all press released to whoever he trusted, and look, by the way, for all the Trump fans, I know you have a lot that watch the show, I'm assuming. LaToya's the one that said this, that Trump was one of 3 people he trusted. That's all. That's all I'm going to say about Trump. Trump was one of 3 people Michael trusted.
So
they also lived together for a year.
So you're telling me Michael Jackson would have wore a MAGA hat?
I don't know about that. Listen, man, like I always say, same bird, different wing. But for Eddie's story of Trump, and I always say I hope he's right. I pray he's right. If you don't want Eddie to be right about all that stuff, something's wrong with you. Why wouldn't you want it? Why wouldn't you want it to be right? We all do. But I'm going to one up that. I'm going to take and say there's no way that that's possible. Because Eddie says Trump would be the quarterback. I said then he's got to be the coach. They go way back. You want to play the Donald Trump one on the folder? Because I'll tell you right now, and again, I am not a QAnon person. I'm not pro QAnon. I'm not pro Trump. I'm not pro Republican. I'm nothing. But it's still weird to me. It's weird, the connection these 2 guys had. So I feel weird talking shit about the Trump's trying to help people, and I'm sitting there like, nah, I think Mike, but they're fucking friends the whole time, and they're tight.
Which one are we looking at here?
QAnon.
Got it.
I just threw all this together last night for you guys. I wanted to throw something together just to get some.
A simple way.
Oh, hit pause. Sorry. Now, this is alleged. Robert David Steele is talking right now. This is alleged that it's him. I can't prove it because it's an audio podcast only. But it's creepy. Whoever said it, I'm like, yeah, you're on my team. I don't know if it's him, but this was right before they said he died. So I don't know. I don't know if it's him. If you guys know.
Before Michael died or.
No, Robert Steele.
Yeah.
If you guys know Robert Steele's voice, maybe you'll say yeah or no. I'm unsure. A lot of people are like, yeah, it sounds like him. I'm not saying it is, but hit play.
I have a simple way of doing things. If I know something, I'll tell you, and if I have a hunch, I'll tell you. But somebody who's very, very well placed within the Los Angeles County Coroner's Office sent me some information that suggests that one of the people that's been involved in this campaign to rid the world of child trafficking and child abuse might very well be a living, breathing Michael Jackson.
Q all over his house. Look at the Q's everywhere.
This came from somebody that worked within the Los Angeles County Coroner's Office back when
Last Magazine.
That's a weird logo.
So I haven't had time to even look through all of this. There's a lot of stuff here.
His backyard, man. Like fuck.
I'd like to throw out to the audience, and if anybody else has anything
people just don't
related to that, I would certainly be interested in that.
To free myself of his name and his legacy, I decided to become my own person through changing my name.
Michael Jackson was saving the children. They destroyed his reputation.
Right.
Michael Jackson, I thought for years he was...
Sorry, what was that?
Yeah,
You'll see. There's one more video after this. You'll see.
I thought for years he was on the bad side. He's not. He was saving the children. And when he plays at the inauguration, when Michael Jackson comes and plays for us, people are going to realize that it's all been a complete sham.
So I just played that for the Trump fans. I don't know what to think of that, but God bless her for being in my boat at least a little. But no, there's just, I mean, it's very easy. You just research Michael military. I mean, he would get off a plane. There'd be the head of the military there to guard him and bring him in. What are they having meetings for? What are they doing? This is from the 90s through the 2000s. What are they doing? What are they talking about?
What is that uniform he's wearing?
I don't fucking know, dude. He wants to be a revolutionary general. That's what he's always spoken about the last couple albums.
Space Force.
See, I knew Michael at his peak. He lives in one of your buildings? He lives in Trump Tower. He has it started with the Pepsi Cola with the bomb that landed on his head and screwed him up.
The good old days.
It went on. And, Michael, it's a very tragic thing. Michael Jackson's a very smart, very good guy who truly has changed a lot.
For the record, I knew Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was our neighbor in Trump Tower. I used to play Nintendo with Michael Jackson.
Michael was a very, very smart guy. A lot of people don't realize that he was really smart. I knew Michael Jackson very well. I knew him better than probably almost anybody.
And everybody commented on Michael Jackson. I said to myself, it's amazing. They have no idea what they're talking about.
They knew nothing. Some of them never even met him. And I sort of laughed to myself. Here they are. They're talking about Michael Jackson. They never met him. And that's happening.
But she did.
Damn.
Well, just in case, again, when Eddie talks about Trump's going to save America, I'm like, dude, I'm not about that. But I hope you're right. And if you are right, this is the only way that would happen, because I know he faked his death. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I'll tell his fucking mom that.
So, do you think he faked his death to just get away from all this? No,
it's for what we think this Great Awakening is.
Yeah, that's the thing I don't quite understand. What you're saying?
The Great Awakening.
Slip into the shadows.
I'm also going to say one more thing. There is a belief that Michael Jackson was worth more.
Oh, hip hop. Sorry. One last thing.
Dead than alive.
He was more dead than alive.
No, he's worth more dead.
Nah, it's a media
alive.
press. That's press again. The guy was so rich.
No, I mean, for the people that owned his music, they would resell.
My bad, Sam. You're right. But I just thought you meant because the media always said he was bankrupt and it was broke. Dude, this guy had ridiculous amounts of money. And they would never want you to know that.
I mean, he owned the Beatles catalog.
He owns the Beatles masters. Are you fucking kidding me? Right. All right, so this was the last thing that I could find. If someone else has something, let me know. But this is the last thing I could find of him speaking on stage or anything ever. And listen to what he says, and then you'll see the very end.
But still, I promise you, the best is yet to come.
Wait, so
and he changed his slogan to "The best is yet to come." Now,
what was this?
I don't know.
What was this thing?
Play the Dave video. It's real short. It's
right there.
You're gonna see. Play the Dave video real quick. Then we'll jump off the videos.
There's more. All right.
Play the Dave video.
Yeah, I like how Johnny didn't forget that because.
And again, for the record, I don't think that Trump and Michael are trying to save the world. I'm hopeful that Michael is doing something behind the scenes, and maybe it's a small chance that Trump's involved with that. And that's the only angle I give Trump. I'm just saying that's the only angle I would give him because of the history of these two guys.
Then possibly Michael Jackson could be helping him.
I think Michael Jackson, again, if this Trump story is actually legit in any form or fashion, which again, you don't, in my opinion, you don't ever say go get vaccines if you're trying to save the world.
You don't praise Klaus Schwab either.
Yeah, you don't shake Klaus Schwab's hands or nothing like that. So again, that's why I'm kind of away from Trump. But I'm just saying, if Trump is that good guy that people hope he is, this is probably why. That's all. We're just having fun.
And
we're just having fun.
Is there any way they could be hanging out?
Yeah, I know. I hear that all the time. JFK Jr.
Hey, Michael. If he's supposed to come back, they got to be hanging out.
See, that's why I get in line with like when people are like, "Oh yeah, Michael's alive," just like Tupac and Elvis, huh? That kind of reminds me of that, where just because you're someone stating something and it's like, well, then he's gonna have to be alive for that. I don't think JFK Jr. has nothing to do with this for me. Everything I'm talking about has nothing to do with that because I've heard those things. And yeah, the plane disappearing and he died, and it's sketchy. But in fairness, I've never looked into it at all, so I have no comment on JFK Jr. And I don't know if it would help or hurt.
One thing I will say to you is that it was very, very common back in the day, like in the 1800s or the 1700s, 1800s, for politicians and famous people to fake their own deaths.
Yeah.
So they could get out of office, do their own thing, and not be hounded all the time.
Hard to do in this era of cameras in every pocket.
Hard to do.
Well, you think about it, Michael probably, if he did do it, he did it at the perfect time before. It'd be impossible to do it.
He don't give a fuck.
2009, that was like right around.
What's the idea? Oh, is this what we're about? That he's changed his face or something?
Oh,
like
yeah.
that?
He's good at that.
This is but I want to say one thing before. A lot of people know about the Dave Day thing. A lot of people do. Not everybody, but a lot of people know that he was on Larry King a week after Michael died. It looks and sounds just like him, like he's in a disguise. And I'm about that. Yeah, it makes sense that he would do that because he showed up there to Larry King with his best friend, Miko Brando, Marlon Brando's son. That was Michael's best friend their whole lives. They grew up together. And Miko Brando is like kind of smiling in the beginning when he's sitting next to this burn victim. He's like sipping a tea, smiling. And this guy sounds and acts like Michael. So what I did was I did more research than anyone ever has on Dave. He's a real guy. Okay, so people go, oh, no, he just pretended to be a burn victim. I go, no, Dave Rothenberg is a real man, though. He just passed away 2 years ago. He's a real man. His dad tried to burn his house, did burn his house down with him inside, and they finally saved his life in the nick of time. And then Michael heard about it and just flew over there and paid for shit or whatever, helped, and again. That's a weird thing to some people, but not if you're a genuine-hearted person. That's a great thing to do. We should all do that if we had the ability. Go fly over there and help.
Watch the video, dude.
Yeah, but so watch this video. I just want to remind you that Dave Rothenberg is a real person, but he was also friends with Michael and allowed Michael to be the disguise of him because they have two separate voices. They look differently. They're real people. He's a real guy. Michael just said, "Hey, can I go out there and pretend I'm you for this?" And he's like, "Go ahead." That's my opinion.
All right, let's see.
Joining us now here in Los Angeles, Miko Brando, who was with us almost every night after this untimely. Joining us now here in Los Angeles, Miko Brando, who was with us almost every night after this untimely passing, longtime Michael Jackson friend attending the funeral. And Dave, yes, that's his name, Dave. He was David Rothenberg. He was set on fire in 1983, suffered, as you can see, terrible scars. Michael Jackson befriended him and paid for a lot of his surgeries. Dave is also attending the burial. Why Dave?
Well, to liberate myself from the confines of my father's criminality.
He caused the fire?
Yeah. He is a criminal, and he caused all this. To free myself of his name and his legacy, I decided to become my own person through changing my name.
You wanted to take me away from
Here's the real Dave.
But I'm strong. I don't go down for nobody. My obstacles, my experiences, my life.
Completely different guy.
Showcase it's the world, and that's what I'm doing through my art.